Hey, Bethany, you want to hit record? Beautiful. Hey, everybody. Dave here. I'm going to get the meeting started this evening. You can see Sonia in the background. We're, we are just tucked away in every corner here, joining the Zoom call tonight. And let's see, I see Bethany's here. She is our speaker, and we've got quite a few on. Hello, Jen. Hello, Jen, and so many. I'm gonna change the view here in a minute so I can see everybody that's here. But I'm really happy that you are here. This skills training on Monday nights, I believe, is a brilliant, brilliant concept, and I've been a fan of it since Bethany Shipley started it. And now so many of you are committed to it, and you understand the value of it, and you show up every Monday night. And I think it's fantastic. And if you feel the urge to stir up your teammates to join you, I think it will pay off in huge dividends to just one by one add the skills that it takes. So many people that we meet and talk to about network marketing say, I don't know what to do. I don't understand what to do. And our first impulse is often without training, take us down a path that is full of activity, but it's not full of a lot of results. And so I just really, really believe that this meeting is just top shelf. Let me give you some announcements that I have before we get started. And then I will type these in as our training is going on. I'll type them into the chat so everybody has those. First of all, I've got an update on the Go for No challenge. The Go for No challenge has been amended, and that is now you're going for 100 conversations with people. We discovered that going for a response or a no led us down a road of pushing too much and disregarding the relationship a little bit. And we definitely know that that will not work. And Bethany, you can elaborate on that if you feel like it's necessary. But we definitely want to encourage the conversations. That's where the incentive should be. The conversations. Do they have to be about essential oils? No, that's the whole point. Have conversations. At the end of the day, it's how many people did you converse with in a way that was emotionally intelligent? So I want to encourage you to do that. Number two, I want to mention this, that the OQ brand partners execs and above have been sharing their stories in the units tab in OQ. And what a powerful way to get fired up, just to hear how essential oils and essential oil infused products are impacting the lives of our leaders in this team who've been using the products for some time. And you get armed with some of these stories and you're in a conversation, and it allows you to pull that story out and say, I just heard from a friend of mine who was telling me about this particular oil, or they tried this particular protocol and had these results. So it's a wonderful way to really just keep the fire burning and the coals hot in your own heart about this mission that we have of helping as many people as possible. Finally, the new Vitality Drops. That's right. There is a new product dropping tomorrow, and it's the new Vitality Drops. And I don't know a ton about it. I'm excited about this as well, but I know it's dropping tomorrow. So log out some time because you're going to want to spread the word about these Vitality Drops as soon as you can find out about them. Bethany will be putting information in OQ, possibly in OQ brand partners as well, that would be pertinent to you all understanding what they are and how you can best share that news. Okay, so if you have questions, drop them in the chat. We'll take a look while Bethany's training and see if we can come back to some of those in the end. But I want to introduce my daughter, the original, the OG here. And Bethany, you all know her, you love her. I've loved her for a long, long time. And we have a very special relationship that goes back to, of course, her entering the world. And, I'm just thinking of her coming to the point where she could converse and speak. And we always had so much fun. And someday I'll let her explain that she promised that I could pick her husband And she promised that multiple times. And I said, now I want you to understand that you're going to turn 13 and you're not going to want, you're not going to want me to. And she said, that's not true. That's not true, Daddy. And it was true. So I happily yield the microphone to the lady from the other bedroom, Bethany Shipley.
Thanks, Dad. Oh my gosh. Well, what's the funniest thing is that, when someone can wipe your butt and then a few years later introduce you on a Zoom, that's that's humbling, right? So, oh my gosh, no, it's so much fun to do this business with you guys. And you know what? I just love, Dad, thanks for all that you do for our team. And it's just so much fun to get to work together. So, all right, tonight I am going to do a training that I did for a Crossline team on Saturday, and it is upper level training. So this is what I would be training for people who are going to Royal Crown Diamond. And since I actually truly believe that each of you are, this is the training I feel called to talk about tonight. And, I love working in outsourcing training for us and as a team and breakouts. And we might have some of that tonight. But I feel so strongly that we need to do some upper level training. And this is why. There are seasons of business. And if you don't know this yet, you will know it. You will come to know it. There are seasons of business, just like there are seasons of nature. So we have season of spring, where everything is being born. All the seeds are being planted. We have seasons of fostering those plants, right? We have seasons where we're pouring into those seeds. We have seasons of harvest that we get a lot from what we sowed. Then we have seasons of die-off called winter. Excuse me. So we are in the season of nature, we're in the season of winter. And because we've lived in this world and because we have people who've gone before us, like our parents, we know, oh yeah, after spring comes summer, after summer comes fall, after fall comes winter. And we just kind of come to expect that in the nature. And so it's funny to me, it's not funny, it's just normal, because when people start going through their first cycle and of business, of seasons of business, they start feeling that, right? When they hit their first winter and they're like, it's kind of getting cold out here. People are kind of dying off. People aren't, and I'm like, I've been there too. I know I've shared this story with you, but I am going to touch it briefly, because back in the day when I first hit silver, my entire silver leg in one single day, I had spent the whole week having strategy calls with them. They were saying things like, we're going to go to platinum. We're going to be platinum by November. This was in April. We're going to be platinum by November. We've got this group of people. We're all in for the business. Let's do classes. Will you come here? Will you fly here and teach? I was like, this is happening. We got the ball rolling. It's happening. I'm so excited. I got a call from the lead girl on that team. And she said, hey, I know we just talked yesterday and I said all that stuff, but something came up, and the religious group that we're in, pastor of this religious group, actually said he doesn't agree with Young Living and he thinks these oils are kind of weird. And so he asked us all to cancel our accounts. And I was like, what? Wait, what are you talking about? I'm like oils are in the Bible. Like, if that's your thing, then like, what? And you guys, they all quit their accounts. Not only did they quit building a business with Young Living, they canceled their accounts. So my leg that was at 4,000 went from 4,000 down to 1,000 in one day. And I was sitting there at the booth of Whistle Stop. I'll never forget it. And I was like, I'm crushed. And I don't know if I can come back from this, because at that time, 3,000 OGV felt huge. It felt huge. It felt like things just were not going to ever come back from that. And I thought, you know what? I don't know what to do, but I know what the masters do. And they just turn on something to listen to the people who know better than them. So I said, what to do in the worst day of your business. And I got this Eric Worre interview where Eric Worre told the story of his worst day in business. And it was when he was so scared, and he called this person on his chicken list, which means it's a list of people that you're scared to talk to, people that you're maybe intimidated by. And he called and he was like, hey, I got this new business. I'm scared out of my mind. And this guy shut him down. He said he had a decision to make. He could either rise up and say, I'll prove you wrong, or I'll prove you wrong and I'm going to totally slay this thing, or you're right, never mind. And he decided to do it anyway. And so I decided I'm going to do it anyway. You know what? I have no idea what I'm doing. I have no idea what I'm doing. All I know is I'm supposed to talk about oils with people, and I'm supposed to keep meeting needs. So I'm going to do that. And you guys, by the skin of my teeth and a 11:59 p.m. order from my mother-in-law for a Ningxia kit on month end, I hit silver that month. And I will never stop telling that story, because it's you will not hit the rank. You're okay. Let me start that over. You will not hit your next rank with the people you thought you'd hit. And if you don't allow for winter to happen and things to die off and the pruning, the natural pruning process to happen, you won't have the kind of environment that you need for new people to come in. So I want to tell you that, because if you're in your first winter, and maybe you're in spring, gosh, I just want to shout out right now to Coach Trace, who's on this call. She's working on her 9th enrollment of the month right now. She is in spring. She is slaying right now. But if you're not there and you're in winter, remember that it's a season and trust the process. You're going to keep getting better. You're going to keep learning new skills. You're here on this call. You're setting aside time. You're invested in personal development. Like, don't be afraid of the winter. That is not to be afraid of. It's to be expected. Now, how do you prep your team for winter? That's what I'm going to talk about tonight with 18 minutes. How do you prep your team for winter? Do you want people to be able to withstand winter? If so, this is the training for you, okay? And I'm so pumped because this is so elementary and it's so foundational, but it's not practical, okay? This is upper level stuff. This is stuff, again, that I was talking about with a group of people that I'm like, this is Royal Crown Diamond like training, okay? And so I'm super pumped. All right, so Tony Robbins talks about the 6 human needs. If you want people to stay in your business, you have to meet at least 4 of those 6 human needs. The first human need is significance. Significance, when we're in the world and we're searching for significance, if we don't have significance, we go around in every interaction we have, every experience we have, we are searching for how are we significant in this world. So in conversations, if you're there right now and you're like, I'm still searching if I'm significant, how that's going to show up in your life is it's going to be like, hey, everything that they say, you're hoping validates something in you. A lot of times when someone else is talking and you're thinking about how you're going to respond instead of able to jump out of your own self and listen to them, that's because you're living from a place of needing significance, right? If you find yourself staring at yourself on this Zoom call, that's a telltale sign that you're looking for significance. And I've done the same thing tonight. I'm like sitting here going, I'm looking at myself, yet I need to change the gallery right now, the gallery view, because I don't need to work from a place of needing significance when I'm already validated because I'm a human being. So when I get out of that and I'm like done needing validation from people, I can go and give. So if you want people to stay in your team, you have to help them feel significant and help them understand their natural significance. Thank you for being honest, Jen. You said that's so true. I love it. I don't know if that's what you were saying, but I'll just take it as that. So helping people find significance. Now, let me tell you a really practical way to do this is to be able to find the magic in what people in your team have and create an environment to showcase their gifts in front of other people. So when you have someone that you're working with in your team and you're like, oh my gosh, they are so good at talking about the science of essential oils, or they are so good at talking about oils and skincare, or they are so good about whatever it is, find a place to plug them in and set them on a pedestal in front of your team. You do the groundwork to gather the audience, pretend you're like in a park and there's people walking all around. They're not paying attention. They're not focused in your Facebook groups. They're not paying attention. And you start saying, okay, hey, go ahead and start talking. I'm going to gather people. You start gathering people and you're like, hey, watch this, watch this, watch this. If you can validate people in what they're good at, they will feel significance. That's number one. That helps people stay. This is not a manipulation tactic. It is simply a way to call out the greatness in other people. And if you have reservation, when we get on the huddle call and Bethany Crawford can so clearly say, wow, this person's amazing, and I just stalked her on Facebook and she's incredible and she's pumping them up, she's not living in her own needs in that moment. She's going into their world and making them feel special and actually highlighting what's good about them for everybody else to see. And so I think we could all do better about we can all up our game in every way. So we can all do better doing that. When someone compliments you and you feel that reservation, like you can't compliment back or you feel uncomfortable, just go with that vulnerability. Next time it happens, go with it. Say like what you feel excitedly for that other person without any walls. it will change your life on the side of changing your business. So significance is the first thing. And dang, I spent too much time on it. Number two is we all have a human need of uncertainty. The cool news is that Young Living meets that need by default, because we don't know how this is going to go. As much as I say, hey, I want to hit Crown Diamond by X date, which is July, I don't actually know if I'm going to. So I have that need of uncertainty met for me. There's a variety. There's like, what's going to happen on this call? Like, who's going to show up? Who am I going to get to talk to? So that need of uncertainty is kind of built in for us. The third one, though, is certainty. When people start doing this business, you know what? They don't know what to do. They don't have someone dropping a stack of papers on their desk saying, get this back to me by Friday. They don't have someone giving them an Instagram template saying, put this on. They don't have someone doing anything that's required in order to grow this Young Living business. And so if you want your people to stay in business or in products, provide the certainty by giving step-by-step solutions to complicated questions. If you want to make a lot of money, be someone who can create step-by-step solutions for complicated questions. And that typically looks like this. I'm going to put it in the comments. How to anything, how to use lavender, how to use frankincense, how to meet new people, how to whatever complicated question you're identifying your team having. Like, oh yeah, my team, they're just not asking people because they don't know how to talk to people. If you can answer the question, how to talk to people online, and give them a script, you are going to meet that need of certainty for them. It was so funny because it's like, like we know this, right? Like we know that that's what people want, but then do we do it? Like, I forget all the time. The other day when I put out that here's a script on how to talk to people, and there was like the most commented on post in OQ Brand Partners, I was like, again, meeting needs of certainty by providing answers to complicated questions. The fourth need that people in your team are going to need to have met is love and connection. And the reason why we don't take this Zoom call onto Facebook Live when it would be way more convenient to do so is because I need to see your face and you need to see mine. And Mom needs to see Bethany's face and Bethany needs to see hers. And I need to see Robin's face and Robin needs to see, whoever it is. That's why we do breakout sessions, because when we can meet the need of love and connection, you don't leave a team you feel connected to, even in winter. So if you can help your team feel connected when winter comes, you're not feeling like pulling back because you're going to miss people. You're going to miss your community. I heard this statistic one time, and I don't even know the numbers, but it was astronomical. It was by a group of people who were responsible in a mega church for making sure that when a visitor walked in the mega church, they had one person connect with them. The retention rate of people staying at a church was insane when one person met them. So imagine what people feel like. Number three was certainty. So we've got significance. Number two was uncertainty. Number three is certainty. Number four is love and connection. If your team isn't plugged into some sort of love and connection, even if this call isn't for them, it's not their style or whatever it is, if you can get those bonds created within your team, you'll help them withstand winter. By the way, winter doesn't just mean when your business isn't doing well. It also means when Young Living drops the ball on shipping, when the IT department feels sluggish and it's like, great, the spinning wheel of death when someone's trying to enroll and like something's happening and you're like, why? That's also winter. And that is a reality. And I know it's getting better and I know the IT and all that, but while we're here, we have to be ready for that. All right, number 5 is growth. We have to be having growth in order to withstand winter, and our teams have to be having growth. What I mean by that, growth is expansion. It's not production. So that's very clear to understand, because sometimes you don't have production in winter. Sometimes you just have growth where you're having personal growth, you're having emotional growth, you're having professional growth, you're learning new things, you're developing new things. Eli is in a unique place right now in his life, and I know he wouldn't care if I share this. In fact, he's probably listening right now through the door, like with, they're like right out there. He doesn't have a business or like a like job, you know what I mean? So he is learning Spanish on his own every night he listens and learns 30 minutes worth of Spanish. That's fulfilling because he's having growth. He works out every day because he's having growth. We in this business don't have someone showing us how to have growth. We have to like dive in and do it ourselves. So one of the ways that I find really powerful is the huddle call. That is the goal of the huddle call, is growth and also love and connection. That is the goal. So our shift in 2021, which you've probably felt the shift. I've heard many people say the energy is so much better. There's so many more like good. It's because we're not doing business training on there. The whole goal is personal development, personal growth. And so with that and community. So with that, if your team isn't plugged into there, that's fine if you don't want them to be, or they don't want to be, but find a way to have them have that growth. And so then the sixth one, which is the most magic of it all, which is the highest, I believe into the spiritual, into the spiritual realm of what we're doing. Honestly, love and connection is as well, and growth is as well. But this is like another level, is when you can get to the place where you're working out of contribution. Contribution is the sixth human need. When you're living in contribution, and I kind of feel like crying right now, and I'm not going to hold back if I do, but I hadn't really understood what that felt like until this last week. And it actually kind of happened on accident. And it was where we're like, oh yeah, we should like niche down on social media. Like we should like all figure out our thing. And what happened was I was like, if anyone's available on Tuesday at 12, like hop on a call and we're going to talk about social media. And then what ended up happening was like, honestly, on the edge of magical. And that was like, I felt like for the first time when I was talking to people about their social media, I was getting so excited about how I could see them having 100,000 followers on Instagram, having them make a huge impact, having them have all the leads they could ever want, having them have a specific dynamic vision for their business that puts them in a position to hit Royal Crown Diamond. That feeling that I got when we were doing that work, and it wasn't even like, I don't even know how to describe it. I'm on this own journey for myself. But the point was, it was working in contribution. For when you're in that work, you're not thinking about yourself. If you can work in those ways, the fulfillment, and if you can help your team have that kind of work, the fulfillment you and your team will have will not only withstand winter, but it will be able to prep others for winter. And that is like where your business is rock solid. It has pillars. It is stable. It is like, you're not going anywhere. And I hear people, and it's so funny because I hear people not prepped for winter at higher ranks. And I'm like, okay, that must feel so scary. Imagine being like the first human on earth and you're like looking around going like, oh dear God, what is happening? Everything is dying and it's winter, everything's dying. I don't know what's happening. But now then you get the second year and you're like, oh yeah, okay. Like that's where some of us are at. So this right here, the six human needs: significant, uncertainty, certainty, loving connection, growth, and contribution. That is where we have an unbreakable, unshakable team. And I honestly feel like we're ahead of the pack, to be honest with you. Like I really do. I feel like the confidence that we have in this business isn't going anywhere. And so I just want to continue that. So with that being, oh, good, Victoria, that was so fun. You guys, it was seriously a blast. And I've had a few people ask, as we're wrapping up here, I've had a few people ask if we're going to do more of those. And the answer is absolutely yes. But what happened was we got in deep with a lot of people, and we are in this process where it's going to require some more time. And so I need like 2 more sessions with each group to kind of get to a place where it's going and moving fast. My mom, I've had a lot of time with, she's at like, 100 and something more followers. My aunt, I had 2 days with, she's at like 100 and something more followers. The right people, we're just kind of nailing it right now, but I want to do it right with everybody we've been talking to. So I'm making my rounds, but I know in Coach Trace, she's amazing. I don't know if you saw Tracy's post she did. It was amazing. I'm so pumped. Let me just tell you an example. Tracy grew up in foster care. And when she was mothering her children, she had a constant fear. What is normal stress of motherhood? And what is just like, everybody goes through it. And what is the part of it that's like, oh, I didn't know what a healthy relationship looked like with my mom, so I don't know. She is, as on the other side of her struggle, on the other side of raising two beautiful, independent, happy, successful children, and on the other side of becoming a therapist and all of the credentials she has, and, you know, I can't even remember all of them, Tracy. Her target market is helping moms who are in the trenches right now. Social worker, yes, exactly. In the trenches right now, asking themselves the same question she was asking herself. That is so powerful. Think about how many people she's going to impact, how many lives she's going to change. I just get fired up. And I want that for all of us. I want us to all be so specific and dynamic in our journey that we're like, these are the people I'm supposed to help, and here's how I'm supposed to help them. It's powerful, y'all. So we have 4 more minutes. I think we should spend 4 more minutes mapping out on our own. I'm going to go ahead and end this call. Usually I like to do breakout sessions, but I want you to take some time on your own. Spend the next 4 minutes mapping out, how is my team getting their needs met in my team? Product users, business, whatever. How are they getting their 6 human needs met? And for those of the Silver Plus who are on, who are teaching on the class here in just a little bit, maybe you can hop on right at 8 and we'll map out, because we have not yet mapped out our game plan. So if you're teaching on the next class, then just hop right back here at 8 and we'll go through it. And for the rest, I hope to see you on that class. We're doing a day in the life of the starter kit bundle. You can watch it on Zoom, or what I suggest is actually to go on Facebook and get your team riled up to watch live on OQ. That could look like tagging them. It could look like sending them a message and saying, hey, we're having a class. If there are any starter kit oils that you don't know how to use, they're going to be going over it in this class. Specifically, people who are not on Essential Rewards, who maybe don't know, or people you want to enroll. I will also be, if you have people you want to enroll, have them get on the Zoom live. This class will also be recorded, as all of them are, and put on my YouTube channel next day. So hopefully you broke a sweat just like I have. We'll see you back here for the class, or maybe on Facebook. Thank you guys for coming tonight, and happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Super grateful for that, just that legacy. All right, y'all.